Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Dr. Gene Dorio with my co-host, Barbara Cochran, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. We're now speaking with Nola Aronson from Advanced Audiology. Welcome, Nola. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Have you been traveling lately? Or are you back in town?
No, I will be traveling again.
Really?
I've been here since May.
Yeah, you went to Florida for 3 weeks, I guess it was, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And now where are you going to go?
We're going to Australia and Fiji and New Zealand, but it's a kind of business. In Fiji, we're going to be fitting children that we're going to be testing their hearing and fitting them with hearing aids.
Congratulations. You are too much.
So
that's wonderful.
We're going to be taking classes in Australia. So
down under classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't
You'll
have
love
to
it.
Take the class standing upside down, do you?
Yes, of course.
Where in Australia are you going?
To Sydney.
Sydney. You will love it. I hope you get a chance to walk around.
Oh, yeah, we do have some time to do that.
That's good.
How fun.
Because Australia is beautiful.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's been my dream. It's been my dream to go. So
that's, here in Santa Clarita, you are an outstanding person in terms of giving services to those who need it and can't afford it. Mm-hmm. And now you're extending that outside our community. And I'm just not surprised at all, Nola, that you're doing this. And I just think it's great.
Yeah, I'd love to do this. And I just got nominated for Ultimate Small Business Entrepreneur Woman of the Year.
Congratulations.
Whoa, wonderful.
Yeah.
You're nominated.
No, I won that.
You won it.
Oh,
yes.
Congratulations.
Wow.
I was nominated for via Rising Star Award also for this year. That I was nominated for. I haven't been picked for that yet. Mm-hmm. But I did with the Elite magazine.
Well, for all the things you do, I'm just not surprised.
Yeah. So this weekend is a very busy weekend for us. We are supporting the Alzheimer's Association.
Alzheimer's.
So we are going to be one of the sponsors at the Alzheimer's Walk. Mm-hmm. And then that's starting at 7:30 in the morning on this Saturday at Bridgeport Park.
Right.
Then I leave from there, and I'm the title sponsor for the Circle of Hope tea that we have at 11:30. So I'm sponsoring 2 events that day, Circle of Hope, because that's really where my passion lies, since I'm a breast cancer 16-year survivor.
Woohoo!
And so I really think that organization is very, very together, and they do a lot of things for this community.
I agree with you.
And
there are a lot of very hardworking people on that board, too.
Yes.
I mean, they're not on there just for show.
Right.
They work.
They do work.
They really work hard.
Pam Ripley is doing a wonderful job as the president this year, since our dear Ray got to move away and enjoy his life, but we do miss him. And but Pam is doing an awesome job.
Well, the organization is doing an awesome job, and we were talking about how Oakmont earlier has a fund. I mean, the Circle of Hope does the same thing. It brings funds together for those who need the little things of how they can defeat cancer in their life. There are some people in our community that don't have insurance and can't even afford a mammogram.
Right.
I mean, this screening process is eliminated from them, and it's not appropriate that some people can, but some people don't. But Circle of Hope provides that, and then if you are in other needs surrounding your cancer, they help you out with that too.
Yeah. So I feel really blessed to be able to help out in the community. And of course, I try to include all my patients in that contribution by taking 10% of the cost of the hearing aids and donating that to these different nonprofits. I was going to do one a month, but my heart gives out to all of these different things. So I'm ending up doing more than one a month, but I'm really enjoying myself. And then for the month of November, I would be donating to for the veterans for Habitat for Humanity. And then I'm also going to be, it's kind of towards the end of November and December, but I will be doing the Diabetes Association. They are going to be having an event on November 20th. And I'm going to be doing hearing screenings there at that event.
So do you change, say you have 12 nonprofits in 1 year,
Yeah.
then do you do different ones the following year? Or do you stay pretty much with the same ones?
Well, like this year, I've added the Alzheimer's, I've added the diabetes. So I don't know what next year will bring, but whoever,
And
whatever
these are all local.
yes,
also.
yes, in my community.
Yes.
I support my community.
Absolutely. That's
Because,
the only way to do it.
You know, I think that this is a wonderful community to live in. It's our, city council is great. Our mayor is wonderful. And, Mr. Bob Keller is just a great person. And I hope everybody goes out to vote this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pick the right people. I've been going to all the debates and hearing all the candidates speak, and so that I can be informed of, who's going to be best for myself to think, I don't talk politics, but
No,
I'm
I
just
agree with you.
mentioning.
It's not worth it.
No, it's not.
No, keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
But it's interesting when you say, supporting our community. Look out the window to Main Street. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely beautiful compared to what it was.
Oh, yes. It's going to be even more beautiful with the new theater and everything.
When it gets completed, it's, you stand at one end with the circle, and look, you can see all the way down to the other end to see the library and everything in between.
Right. It's really something.
It really
is. It's just a great community.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy. I've lived here for 30 years now, and I'm really very happy to be in this community. I think that's how long we've known each other.
Yeah, exactly.
30 years.
I got you beat. I've been here almost 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved here before the 14 freeway was built.
Yeah, sure. I'm with Kmart, and I guess Kmart probably was here.
That was the staple here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
where
was.
everybody went.
Right.
But it's really grown to be an incredible community.
Yes.
And your support
very
for the community has always been out there. But the senior hour. Let's talk a little bit about the problems that our seniors face when they get older and their hearing deteriorates. And we've talked before in the past how there are some seniors who have been labeled demented.
Right.
Because of a hearing loss, but they're not really demented. And that's a shame when that diagnosis, the correct diagnosis, is not made. But you've been out there trying to assure and make sure that our seniors who are trying to listen to our show don't get mislabeled.
Right. So we had a goal this year of doing 1,000 free hearing screenings for our community. And I looked at our board that we have in our waiting room this morning, and we've actually accomplished 710
Really?
free hearing screenings in the community this year so far.
That is wonderful.
But let's see, you're running behind
Yeah,
here because
we need
we're
about-
3/4 of the way through the year.
We need about 300 more.
300 more. Let's go.
So the point I want to make during the senior hour is that since we are offering these free hearing screenings and they are performed in a sound booth, rather than a lot of the health fairs you go to, they'll do a hearing screening, but it's just not even in a sound booth and it's not very accurate. But it's something at least. One of the reasons I feel that people don't come in for this service is because they feel like, well, I can't afford a hearing aid. And that's all they're going to try to do is sell me a hearing aid. But our main purpose is really to educate people about their hearing loss, for them to understand their hearing loss, for them to understand that loss and the impact of their lives. If they need medical treatment, maybe, it's just wax in your ears. Maybe you got fluid behind your eardrum.
That's right.
Maybe you have something medically treatable. Well, we work with all the local physicians in this area, and many of them are my patients also. And so we will send the patients back to their physician if it's a medical problem. Only an audiologist can make a diagnosis. The people in the state of California that can sell hearing aids only have to have a high school education, and you take a hearing test, and a hearing dispensing examination, and you can become a hearing aid dispenser. And so you need to watch out for that, and that is what this education is all about. So it's not, if you come into our office to get a free hearing screening, it's not all about, we're just getting you in there to sell you a hearing aid. No. And we work within your budget. And yes, hearing aids are expensive.
Yes, they are.
And I'm not going to fool anybody about that. But, I was just reading, the little insert that comes in the newspaper, Parade or whatever it is. I was just reading through it, and there's all this. They say this is not a hearing aid. This is a personal assistive device. But you don't need a hearing aid. All you need to do is amplify everything. That's not true. You need to be educated. So whether you buy a hearing aid or you don't buy a hearing aid, go to the right person at first that knows how to educate you. That's, I think, really important.
That's important. And that person who has that assistive device may have something more seriously wrong.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like you say, embedded wax that has built up or fluid.
Or
those kinds of things.
Or going down to an acoustic tumor. Because I've had a number of patients that come in and they can't hear out of one ear, and then they've been dizzy on and off, and they are losing their balance. And audiologists have to do with all of those things. We are a medical provider,
Right.
We are not selling a commodity. We are not selling something that you put in your ear, that you shop for your tires, and then you get your cereal for the morning, and then go get, whatever else you need as a staple for your house. And then, by the way, you stop by and get a hearing aid. Oh, why? Because they're inexpensive. Well, price is not everything when it comes to your quality of life.
That's exactly
so
right.
That's, all I ask is that people really pay attention to this. There is so much new technology out there, and that's the other really big thing. I've been doing this for over 35 years. I've been through all the gamut of everything, every hearing aid. I know how to program hearing aids. If you go to somebody who's inexperienced and you think you're going to get the same thing, you're not. Because if you don't understand what the hearing aid's actually doing for the specific hearing loss and exactly match the needs of the person to the hearing loss, to the hearing aid, and know how all the bells and whistles work and how it all fits together, you're just going to get a commodity.
That's right. That's
and time and time again, I hear about all these people. They don't put their hearing aid on. They don't wear them. They say they spent this money and they can't use them. And we do all these things for free for people. Come back. We have walk-in hours twice a day. If there's anything wrong with your hearing aid, you can get it cleaned for free. We help with batteries because we give free batteries, free quarterly cleanings and adjustments. And the biggest thing we do is oral rehabilitation. And
oral rehabilitation. What is that?
And that is training people how to communicate better.
Verbally.
I see.
Not just about putting a hearing aid on you, but giving you a whole program of how to do better and what to expect and expectations and where to sit and how to, how to communicate in different environments. So you can get along.
So let's go back a little bit, Nola. Let's talk a little bit what we've talked about before about symptoms that patients are being brought into your office for. The family has noticed changes in their loved one, and like they have to get repeated again and again and again the same things that are being told to them. And, the light goes on, because the hearing is down, and you realize that. But there are other things as well, other symptoms that one gets you. I go do house calls, and, when I can hear the TV down the street, I know my patient has a problem, or the radio down the street.
Probably when it's at that point, it's way too late. It's,
I hope
you
not.
need to you need to get it earlier than that.
Right.
So,
well, but some people, they're out driving and they don't hear the siren.
right now, that's really important.
That is important because that's going to affect
important.
whether they're going to keep driving or not. Or if they don't pull over, they can get a ticket or, interfere with a emergency vehicle. And, understanding directions, you go to a store, go to DMV or somewhere, and they say, you need to do this and do this and do this. And you don't do it because you didn't hear it, that then could create chaos.
Right. So it's your quality of life.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of
Basically.
people, it takes the average still, even after all these years, 7 years, for anybody to do anything about their hearing
Yeah,
problem,
something.
because they can hear just fine. You see, when you have a hearing loss, you hear fine. It's everybody else that mumbles.
That's very true. That's very true. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
So, anyway, so that's the important thing to realize. It's just don't be in denial. Just go get it checked. If you're living with your kids and you unfortunately are not independent as much anymore, and they're complaining that every minute they have to repeat to you and say what, and the TV's up too loud, like you said, and it's annoying other people. Listen to what other people say, because they love you and they want to help
right.
you.
Exactly.
And like you said in the beginning, Alzheimer's and dementia has been hooked up to hearing loss. A lot of other health problems too, heart problems and all kinds of things. So, you get your eyes checked, you get your teeth checked, you get your heart checked. Why aren't you checking your hearing? It's
That's
one of the most
right.
important senses
It absolutely
to communicate
is.
with.
But you don't really think about that, because I think someone who's losing their hearing doesn't realize they're losing it.
That's right. That's what I
But
said.
if you've got a toothache, whoops, you go. Or if you can't see, you go.
right.
But the hearing is something completely different.
Yes.
It really is.
It's like a hidden handicap.
But
Right.
there's a big hump that we're going to talk about when we come back.
Right.
Because one of it you mentioned already is the costs and the expense. So let's talk about that and Medicare. And, it might not be too political, but I think it's important, Nola, that we at least touch on that on this show. I'm Dr. Gene Dorio with Barbara Cochran on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Gene Dorio, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Nola Aronson of Advanced Audiology. And we've covered quite a bit of ground. Yeah. But what is one of the most important things involving hearing and hearing aids?
Okay, so let's get back to the cost factor again, because that is the thing that deters people from getting help. And yes, hearing aids are expensive. And unfortunately, Medicare does not cover hearing aids.
They'll cover the test.
Yes,
correct?
they'll cover the test.
So, we can get your 710 up to 1,000. Just, you can go in, get your hearing checked, because the Medicare will cover that.
Well, okay, so the free screening, let me go over this.
Yes,
That's important.
please.
A free screening means pass or fail. We just come in, we screened your thresholds, and you either pass or fail. Now, once you fail, that becomes a diagnostic evaluation for us to determine if the hearing loss is actually a medical problem or if it is nerve damage. So that's when the insurance would kick in. Now, of course, if you don't have insurance, that isn't any reason not to do something, because we can talk to you a little bit after a screening if you fail it. But there is a difference between a diagnostic audiological test and a screening. So when we say free screening, it's to educate you about hearing loss. So it's not even to talk to you about hearing aids yet, but part of the education could be that may be a solution for you. So then you start going, okay, well, they're really expensive, and I can go to so-and-so big box store and get them for, $2,000 and get the best there is. But it's not the same.
No.
All that is a hearing aid, and it's 2 years behind in technology. So you're not getting the latest technology to help you understand speech and noise. And all the newer technology enables you, especially these new ones that just came out like 2 months ago. Oh my God, they're incredible. And you really can understand speech and noise. And first time ever that I've seen so many people that have worn hearing aids before coming back to try these new ones after one visit, telling me how wonderful they are and how I've changed their lives. And that's what I live for. I live to change people's lives. I don't live to sell hearing aids. That's part of my business. It's part of my living, but it's not part of my goal. My goal is to change your life for the better so you can hear better. Well, unfortunately, I have a thing in my way, and that's Medicare. And now we have all these third-party insurance stuff, and so lots of the insurance companies are getting involved now in hearing aids and having their own hearing aid companies, kind of, and you get them cheaper, and
Really?
Yeah, and then they don't have people to service you, and they send you a video in the mail, and
My goodness.
it's really getting bad because of all it's about is cost. Now, if I really took my hearing aids and unbundled my price, in other words, I sold you just a hearing aid with no service, it'll be cheaper. But I like to do a complete hearing healthcare package where I know that if you got free batteries and you didn't have to worry about coming in if you had a problem, and you didn't have to worry about coming in to have your hearing aids cleaned and all of that in the service. That's where I get like crazy, because more and more we have to talk about unbundling the prices because of the insurance
Yes.
companies and what they're doing. So it's not just Medicare doesn't cover hearing aids. That's really a bad thing. But they don't cover glasses. They don't cover teeth. So that's when we're talking about an election year. We need to look at what is Medicare going to be able to do for our seniors. Once we get on Medicare, we don't have insurance anymore. Now, if we were a teacher, great. You have coverage for your life, and they cover hearing aids. And they do. They pay very well. If you're
a congressperson, it's the same thing, isn't it? Yes.
Okay, I'm not answering that.
That is
anyway.
true. I'm just making a statement. It's not
that's true.
really a question.
Yeah.
So that's the bad part. That's
Yeah.
what's going on politically now,
That's
that
right.
certain people, like Congress people who make the laws, get hearing aids, whereas those who are on Medicare don't get hearing aids. So I think it's a question that needs to be out there. It's a political year, but other things are going on, Nola.
Right.
But you're
That's
taking
true.
care of our community, and that's what we've been really happy about. And
Right.
you're doing a great job. And, Nola, we appreciate it. If they would like to be involved and get a screen, how do they get a hold of you?
Okay, so we are Advanced Audiology, the ones with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard in the Owen Patterson. Now it's the Century 21 Troop building.
Really?
Yeah, so Century 21 and Troop joined together. And our phone number is 661-253-EARS. So that's 661-253-3277.
Yes.
Call our office, tell them you heard it on KHTS Radio. Come in, get a free hearing screening, and we'll give you a trip for two to
Fiji.
eight different places.
Thanks, Nola, for being on the show. We are sponsored by you, Nola, Advanced Audiology and Santa Clarita In-Home Care. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.